It's going. There it goes.
Among the resilient cast members who have weathered the extremes of life below zero, Glenn Villeneuve's presence stands out as a constant. He is someone who has always strived to learn, grow, and expand his horizons. From the show's inception until 2019, Villeneuve's journey epitomized the rugged essence of living off the grid. It offered viewers an intimate glimpse into the challenges and triumphs of a life stripped bare of modern comforts. But then, a question arose: why did he leave the show without any public announcement, and what is he up to now? Let's dive deeper into what really happened to Glenn Villeneuve from Life Below Zero and explore the backstory behind his departure. Since its captivating debut in 2013, Life Below Zero has been a rollercoaster ride, stirring raw emotions and offering genuine wilderness insights to its dedicated fanbase. With its gripping storytelling, the show consistently whisks viewers away to the wildest corners of nature, sparking excitement, empathy, and a profound appreciation for surviving in the wild. Each episode entertains and educates, showcasing the resilience and ingenuity needed to thrive in Earth's most extreme environments. Glenn Villeneuve's time on the show embodied a deep understanding of this lifestyle, earning him a special place in the hearts of viewers who admired his bravery, perseverance, and his deep bond with the wilderness. While Life Below Zero revolves around the daily struggles of survival in the wild, Glenn sought something deeper, a narrative that transcended mere survival. He craved tales of adventure, from paragliding off towering peaks to exploring ancient sites and scaling the highest summits. However, his aspirations clashed with the producer's vision for the show, which adhered to a specific formula. Despite the resistance, Glenn persisted, driven to share stories that showcase the true essence of the Alaskan wilderness. But then, things took a turn for the worse. Glenn's departure was a blow to many devoted fans who had followed his journey on Life Below Zero. It has been a few years since he left the reality TV scene, but questions remain about what led to his disappearance and where he is now. Various answers have emerged, one of which involves a rift between Glenn and the show's producers. As viewers eagerly await the next chapter in Glenn's journey, let's delve deeper into his backstory and explore how it all began, while also understanding Glenn Villeneuve's character and the beginning of the end. To truly understand why a nomadic person like Glenn left Life Below Zero, we need to look at his early days. Glenn Villeneuve was born on March 18, 1969, and at 55, he has experienced his fair share of adventures. His story begins in Burlington, Vermont, long before he became known in Alaska. Glenn developed a love for the outdoors while growing up in Vermont, far from the bustle of city life. His family lived in the woods, away from urban areas, so he didn't attend regular schools. Instead, his parents taught him everything, from reading to surviving in the wild. Living in nature, Glenn absorbed a wealth of knowledge about wildlife, weather, and plants, soaking in all the lessons nature had to offer. He received serious training in hunting, fishing, crafting, and surviving, which prepared him for life in the wild. Beyond the basics, Glenn's childhood was filled with adventure and outdoor fun. At just 9 years old, he was already climbing tall mountains like a pro. Picture a kid conquering the peaks of Mansfield, Vermont, while most of his peers were still figuring out how to tie their shoelaces. Adventure was simply in his blood. But Glenn wasn't satisfied with just that. At age 12, he and his uncle embarked on an epic journey from Massachusetts to the Canadian border. Although they didn't make it all the way, Glenn's spirit was undeterred. At 13, he convinced his mom to take him back to where they started, so he could finish the trip on his own. The determination he showed at such a young age is impressive. Despite his rugged upbringing, Glenn's family eventually embraced modern technology like TV and the internet. However, even with those changes, Glenn remained true to his wild roots, living a life like a nomad, immersed in nature. Glenn Villeneuve is one of a kind, with a story that is sure to grab your attention and perhaps even inspire you to look at life a little differently. He has made himself right at home in the wild, and it's a pretty amazing thing to witness. When it comes to his education, Glenn didn't stick to the usual path. He only lasted about a year in high school before quitting for good. At 13, he tried going back here and there but kept dropping out, never making it past the 9th grade or earning a GED. Glenn's passion for the great outdoors drove him away from school. He believed that real learning happened outside of classrooms, through hands-on experiences and going on adventures. His thirst for knowledge pushed him to explore and teach himself new things. In his 20s, Glenn jumped at the chance to work as a freelance courier, seeing it as a way to satisfy his wanderlust and see the world. Traveling had been part of his life since he was a child, and he saw it as a way to learn and have some fun. Mountain life before life below zero. Glenn became famous thanks to his stint on National Geographic's Life Below Zero, but his love for the outdoors goes way back, even before the show. From the start, he was into the whole primitive hunter-gatherer lifestyle. At first, he wanted to be a bush pilot and spend all his time in the wild. He even got his private pilot's license and flew planes for a while. But eventually, he realized his true calling was to live out in the wilderness of Alaska, so he sold his plane, stocked up on supplies, and headed into the wild. Once there, Glenn started thinking about how he could make a living in the mountains. He decided to invite camera crews to film his life. Living in rugged terrain was no joke. Glenn faced off against all kinds of wild animals, including moose, wolves, and bears. How Glenn Villeneuve joined Life Below Zero. Glenn shared that he spent over 4 months out in the wild, completely alone, without seeing another soul. Then, out of the blue, the executive producer of Life Below Zero showed up, 8 months after Glenn had reached out to them about doing a documentary. They had a chat, and soon enough, they decided to turn Glenn's life in the wild into a reality TV show. Back then, Glenn had no clue what a reality TV show even was, since he'd been out of touch with TV for ages. But he went along with it anyway. His debut on Life Below Zero happened in 2013, and he stuck around until 2019, starring in a whopping 85 episodes. Throughout his time on the show, Glenn became a fan favorite due to his down-to-earth attitude and genuine kindness. Before Trisha came into the picture, Glenn was married to Sylvia. Given his unusual lifestyle, their romance blossomed in the midst of Glenn's wilderness lifestyle, with Sylvia captivated by his rugged charm. As with everything in his life, his love life has been quite the adventure and lived out in the wild and turns that add layers to his fascinating story. When he first ventured into the mountains, he spent 4 months living solo his life with Trisha Kazan in the rugged wilderness of Alaska. They spent years together in the wilderness, faced all sorts of challenges and trips to the city, and they recently welcomed their mountain home. After their marriage ended, Glenn found love again with Trisha. They started off with a long-distance relationship until Trisha decided to leave her job as an attorney in Boston to join Glenn in the woods. She embraced the wilderness life wholeheartedly, and they soon welcomed their own child into the world. However, in 2013, their relationship hit a rough patch, and they decided to go their separate ways. Despite the end of their romance, the memories of their adventures together still hold a special place in Glenn's heart, a testament to the resilience of love in the wilds of Alaska. Encounters with wolves. Glenn's stories of facing off with wolves in the wilderness of Alaska paint a vivid picture, as if you're right there with him, battling the elements and staring down predators in the freezing cold. Take the winter of 2006 to 2007, for example. Glenn found himself in a tight spot, low on food and fighting the biting chill of an Alaskan winter. He set out on a hunt, tracking a wounded caribou that a lone wolf was pursuing. Determined to feed his family, Glenn followed the chase up treacherous slopes until he witnessed a heart-stopping moment. Both animals tumbled over a cliff. Undeterred, Glenn retrieved the caribou and rigged up a makeshift backpack from its rib cage to haul the meat back home. That wasn't the end of Glenn's wolf encounters, though. Another time, he stumbled upon a pack of 20 wolves tearing into a fresh kill on a frozen lake. It was a sight to behold, equal parts mesmerizing and bone-chilling. When the hungry pack set their sights on Glenn's cabin. One particularly tense moment came when a hungry pack of wolves set their sights on Glenn's cabin, sprinting across the ice in a menacing charge. Knowing that he had to protect himself and his loved ones, Glenn sprang into action. Armed with nothing but his trusty rifle and his unyielding determination, he faced off against the advancing wolves with nerves of steel. Glenn fired shots that echoed across the frozen landscape, successfully taking down 3 of the predators in a bold attempt to assert his dominance and defend his turf. But when it became clear that the remaining wolves weren't backing down, Glenn wisely retreated to the safety of his cabin, reflecting on the intense encounter. These experiences gave Glenn a newfound appreciation for the delicate balance between man and beast in the remote wilderness. His tales serve as a powerful reminder of the indomitable human spirit in the face of danger, as well as the primal instincts that drive both predator and prey in the relentless struggle for survival. The mystery of Glenn's departure uncovered. The departure of Glenn Villeneuve from Life Below Zero in 2019 left fans bewildered, sparking a flurry of speculation about the reasons behind his sudden exit. Glenn's big revelation about his departure hinted at a story filled with mystery and unresolved issues. In a candid social media post, he shared that the show's producers seemed to have no plans for him in future seasons. After giving his all for over 85 episodes, Glenn was left in the dark, without so much as a goodbye or acknowledgement of his hard work. Despite reaching out for answers, Glenn was met with silence, adding another layer to the puzzle of his departure. Speaking out on Joe Rogan's podcast, Glenn hinted at some creative differences with the producers, shedding light on the messy situation that led to his exit. However, the truth behind his departure was more complex. Glenn was actually let go due to several factors, with one of the main issues being his frequent clashes with the producers and crew. Imagine filming a reality TV series in the harsh Alaskan wilderness. It's no picnic. It requires a lot of coordination and teamwork. Glenn's independent nature and strong will often lead to conflicts on set. He liked doing things his own way, which didn't always meet the demands of television production. Disagreements over how scenes should be filmed or the direction of the show became a recurring problem. Furthermore, Glenn's interactions with other cast members added to the tension. Life in the wild is tough, and when people live in extreme conditions, they can find themselves in stressful situations. Glenn wasn't immune to this, and he reportedly had his fair share of disagreements with fellow cast members. The dynamics among the cast members can be complex, especially when their survival depends on their ability to work together. Differences in hunting territories, strategies, what does Glenn or Villeneuve personalities do for a often living
fuel
now?
these conflicts?
Since leaving Life Below
Another
Zero,
significant issue
Glenn
was
Villeneuve
Glenn's
has
habit
worn
of
many
breaking the
hats when it
rules.
comes to making a living.
He had a tendency to
For
venture
years,
off into
he's
the
been
wilderness,
deeply involved
sometimes
in real
disappearing
estate,
for
managing
days without
properties,
informing
and investing
anyone
in
of
them
his
to grow
whereabouts.
his wealth.
While this
He has a
showcased
knack
his
for making
survival
savvy
skills,
decisions
it
that
presented
pay off
a major
in the long
challenge
run,
for the show's
steadily
production
expanding
team.
his property portfolio
Keeping
over
tabs
time.
on a cast member who could
Apart
be
from
miles
real
away
estate,
in rugged Alaskan
Glenn also
terrain
dabbles
wasn't
in the
easy,
stock
and
market.
it made it difficult for the crew
He
to
keeps a
capture
close
his
watch on
day-to-day
market
life,
trends
an
and
essential
strategically
element of a show
invests his
like
money
Life
where
Below
he sees
Zero.
potential for growth.
Perhaps the most
But
concerning
perhaps
reason
most
for the
notably,
producers
Glenn
and crew to
continues
part
to share
ways
his
with
life
Glenn
and
was his
adventures through
penchant for
television
putting
and
himself
media
in harm's
projects.
way.
He
Appearances
often
over
placed
the
himself
past
in
6
situations
years.
where he could easily have
Over the
been
past
injured
6
or
years,
worse.
Glenn Villeneuve's
In the
television
wilderness,
appearances have
there's
truly
always
put
an
him
element
back
of
in the
danger.
spotlight. But Glenn's fearless
His
attitude
TV gigs
sometimes
have become a
disregarded
significant
basic
source
safety
of both
guidelines,
income and
which
fame.
understandably made the production
Audiences
team
are drawn
anxious.
to his captivating stories
These
about
various
life in the
factors,
Alaskan
arguments,
wilderness,
with his shows
rule-breaking,
not
and
only
risky
providing
behavior,
entertainment,
led the
but also
producers and crew to
showcasing his
conclude that it
resilience
was
and
becoming too
intelligence.
difficult and dangerous
Despite
to continue
TV
working
being a
with
major
Glenn
part
on
of
Life
his
Below
earnings,
Zero.
Glenn remains active in
That's
other
why we
ventures
won't
like
be
real
seeing him
estate
on the
and
show
stocks.
anymore. He's a busy guy who knows how to diversify his income streams and make his money work for him in various ways. Active on social media. Furthermore, Glenn isn't just a figure in the remote corners of Alaska. He stays connected with the public through regular podcast appearances, giving listeners a peek into his life beyond what's seen on TV. With an active presence on social media, particularly Facebook where he has over 100,000 followers, Glenn showcases his authenticity and openness. This helps him foster a strong bond with his fans, allowing them to see the real man behind the wilderness persona. As Glenn ventures into life beyond Life Below Zero, his unwavering spirit and resilience shine through, serving as a source of inspiration. His journey reminds us that every ending opens the door to new beginnings, brimming with endless possibilities and exciting adventures. What is he currently occupied with? Since his departure from television screens, Glenn has been carving out a fresh path for himself, steering clear of the drama of reality TV. Nestled in the peaceful surroundings of Fairbanks, Alaska, he's fully embracing his role as a doting dad to his daughter, Agatha, and a loving partner to his girlfriend, Challen. But don't think he's given up his hunting and gathering ways. With the majestic Brooks Range as his playground, Glenn is still out there honing his survival skills and living off the land like a true wilderness pro. Glenn continues to immerse himself in the traditional lifestyle of a hunter-gatherer, finding solace and fulfillment in his deep connection to nature. Alongside his daily pursuits, Glenn has also ventured into podcasting, lending his insights and experiences to various shows. Lasting legacy beyond stardom. Reality TV taps into our primal longing for freedom and a break from the routine of everyday life, but not all shows keep it real. Many prioritize ratings over authenticity, resorting to scripted drama that sacrifices genuine expression, all in the name of money. Glenn Villeneuve stands out because of his commitment to truth, avoiding sensationalism and fake storylines while still finding financial success even after stepping away from the TV spotlight. His influence endures, a testament to his diverse career and lasting legacy. With an estimated net worth of around $500,000, Glenn has proven that his success extends beyond just television. His achievements reflect the ventures he's pursued beyond the screen, from his time on rugged reality shows to exploring other avenues. Glenn's financial success speaks volumes, echoing far beyond the realms of television. The story of Glenn Villeneuve's journey. And that's the story of Glenn Villeneuve's captivating journey and shocking departure from life below zero. What are your thoughts on his transition from television to a more serene lifestyle? Do you believe his estimated net worth reflects his enduring impact? What's your take on his creative differences with the show's producers?